Somebody tell me you're not hungry right now just looking at this dish. Oh my goodness. Sit, relax on a glass of wine, water, juice, and let's cook. Hello my people, who is ready for some cooking? It's another day with really tasty cooking. Today we are going for porridge plantains. See, we call this bonhouse plantain, like the Cameroon way. This plantain, let me not say too much. Let's just dive into it and get cooking. Recipe, we start by peeling our plantains, but before I do that, I'm going to fill up the side of the sink with cold water, and then we peel our plantains and just put them in the cold water. I don't want them standing out because I don't want it to change color. So in peeling your plantains, you can choose to put on gloves or you can choose to just peel them like that, but because I don't want my hands stained, I am going to be putting on gloves. So what I do is peel my plantains. Peel your plantain and then just this line. You want to clean some of the peeling. I'm not going to clean all over. No, just clean that line and then dip it in my water. Like right there. So repeat the process for every plantain using 10 plantains. 10 green plantains, like unripe. You don't want to use ripe plantains for this recipe, else you will not enjoy it. You see the way I'm peeling my plantains? You just create a line and then peel them like our grandmothers do. I remember cooking in the kitchen with my grandmother and she would say, Akum, come here and peel the plantains, peel the bananas. So yeah, so in doing this, remember our time together. It's one very easy meal in the sense that it doesn't require too many ingredients and too much to be done. It's just a few ingredients, but the only thing is it takes time. Like, it really stays on the fire for long. So our plantains, we are going to wash them very well and then put in our pot. Wash your plantains really good. Wash pot like 2 times or 3 times, depends on you. Change the water and rinse them really good. Okay, so our plantains have been peeled, washed, and put in the pot. We are going to be adding our chicken. Mind, we're just going to dump everything inside. So why I like to put the plantains right at the bottom is because I want all the juiciness from all the spices to just soak in the plantains. For the plantains to just soak them all. Like you can see how I'm making with my hands, just soak, and soak. So this is hot hen, and is the best for this, or you can use goat meat if you have that. And then I'm going in with my vegetables. I'm using bitter leaf, which is originally used for this recipe. Usually they'll just put the whole bitter leaf, wash it like that without slicing it or chopping the bitter leaf, but this is what I could find in the African store, the already chopped bitter leaf, and it works just very fine. Like, it works just fine. Some people like the long bitter leaves in the recipe, in the dish, so they can just pull and just drag the long ones. But since we don't have those, what can we do? We use the one we have. Or you can use spinach, you can use some other vegetable like kale or okongabong, as the Cameroonians will call it, or ogu, like the Nigerians will call it. I'm adding my crayfish. This is totally optional. You can skip this if you don't like crayfish. And then I'm adding 3 seasoning cubes. They're gonna be boiling for a long time. So, okay, habanero. There is no bonhouse plantain without heat, trust me. And then I always, for my porridge, I love adding this. We call this ajinomoto, but it's monosodium. So this is so good for porridge. So I'm adding about a teaspoon. And then for my salt, I am adding about 3 tablespoons for now. It could be it till everything is done, or we could still add some more when it's cooking. So 3 tablespoons of salt. And now add your water and make sure the water covers everything. For the oil, we are leaving it for later. You can see everything is completely covered in water. We are going to be boiling this for an hour on high because we'll be cooking this for about 2 hours plus. You can even cook it for up to 4 hours. It depends on you. If you're cooking on the fire, you said it's just perfect, but on the stove you don't want to waste too much gas or electricity. So yeah, we are boiling this on high for an hour first, and then before we can add the remaining ingredients. So it's been an hour of cooking our plantains. We are going to add some oil, but before we add our oil, you see how you stir this? You don't just stir them carelessly, you just like lift and lift from the corners. Okay, so the water is just okay because we don't want too much water at the end. I'm tasting for seasonings, so I'm gonna be adding like a teaspoon of salt. Add a teaspoon of salt, and then now we add a palm oil. You see that it's so natural. We are adding about 2 to 3 cups of palm oil, or even 4, depending how you like it and how large your pot is, your pot of plantain is. So yeah, some people do like to put the oil from the beginning, like when you just put everything in the pot, you add your oil and add everything and it cooks. But for me, I prefer cooking it for an hour first and then adding the palm oil. This is gonna soak, like the plantains is already soft, they're already soft. They're gonna soak the palm oil, and when you crack open your plantain, you see how red it is from the inside. So now we are still going to cover this and cook again for another hour before we can add the remaining ingredients. It's just, I'm adding just 1 maggi crevette because this is a big pot of food and you want everything to taste like heaven. I don't know how heaven tastes like, but we know heaven is a good thing. So I am going to cover this to cook for an hour again, for another hour. We do not rush with bonhas plantain. Like if you want the real bonhas plantain, you don't want to rush it. So now we are going to cover it to cook for another hour. Like occasionally check to make sure it's not burning and just lift from the sides to make sure everything is cooking evenly. Check on our plantains and see how they are cooking. And at this point, you want to be very careful not to go too close to the pot because you don't want to end up getting yourself burnt. So, like I say, you stir from the side, you just lift with your spatula and lift. See why I didn't like to I didn't want to break the plantains in halves, because I know cooking, like when you know it is ready when it's kind of breaking out already. So you can see them now in halves, and I did not break them with a spoon. Just by cooking, soaking all the juiciness and all the goodness, and yeah. So it's been a total of 2 hours. Like I said, the country onion is optional. This is the powder form of it. That's a tablespoon. I added a tablespoon, and now our almighty saint leaf. This is a dry one, straight from Cameroon. So I'm adding about half a cup. You can add as little or as much as you want. If you have the fresh one, kudos to you. But the dry one works just fine. And if you cannot lay your hands on the fresh or the dry ones, you go ahead and use mint leaf. It works just fine. It works okay. Like, it can't beat this. Some people prefer the mint leaf to the scent leaf, but for me, like, the traditional way is the scent leaf. So I know It's, see, it's I don't know how to describe the feeling I'm getting right now, because this plantains this plantains, see these plantains there, I don't get tired of eating this plantain. I can have them like 24/7. Cooking now on medium for 10 to 15 minutes. It's been about 15 minutes that we added the Massopo and the rest. Look at this goodness. See, when you start seeing the oil, it's telling you I am almost there. See that? At this point, you don't want to do too much stirring because you might end up crumbling the plantains like entirely. You get my point now? Okay, so now I'm going to reduce my heat to low and just allow it to simmer down. Simmer, 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 simmer. It's gonna simmer now for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can enjoy. This is contri plantain, porridge plantain, which we call, like, it has so many names: sese plantain, contri plantain, bonhouse plantain. But this one is bonhouse plantain. Trust me. See, the aroma is all over my house. Thank you for sticking to this stage. Please try it and then come back and tell me your experience in the comment section, so we know where you went wrong or where you went right, how yours came out to be, and yeah, how your family did enjoy, or your friends and all that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for always being a supporter. Thanks for always being there. Please do not forget to check on the other amazing recipes. They're just as delicious, as amazing, and detailed as this one. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed and stay safe. Love you. Bye bye.